All right, guys. Luis Moreno again here with 360 Insurance Group. I'm with Jeremy, the Sunfire guru at SMA. We are in video video number 5. All right, quick rundown. If you're just kind of picking to this, number 1, setup, overview of Sunfire. Number 2, the hottest, latest, greatest update, which is the voice signature. Okay, video number 3, starting the process and creating contacts. Number 4 is doing a benefits check, plugging in some of the sensitive data from an insured and finding out their A and B effective dates, finding out their plan, enrollment history, finding out if they've got LIS, a lot of good data that will help you select a plan for them. Now, where we're at this point is we're actually going to start running some quotes. So Jeremy's going to hop in here and start the process and what kind of data you can enter so that we let the algorithms and Sunfire give you a much better starting point. So Jeremy, go ahead, buddy.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you for that. So with the customer profile, we're still here with James Cameron. I'm going to switch up his zip code just so there can be a state that I'm licensed in, just so you can kind of see what the actual enrollment button looks like. But we can assume we filled out his Medicare information. We've looked up that. When we go down here to plan information, we can search Medicare Advantage all the way through special needs. And then we can just start filling out some information. So we can say, hey, he's currently on a plan. Let's just say he's on some sort of AARP plan. So we can just plug that one in. And then we can search doctor right here as well. So let's just say he sees the doctor down the street, sees Dr. Rachel. It'll confirm if she's a primary doctor. It will also confirm which locations. So you can click on the locations and it's going to let you know that she's at, there's a typo on Nolensville Pike, and that's right next to where I live. So 3 locations, one on Murphy, Charlotte. So then you can confirm, okay, which one does this person see? So the next question, obviously you can just let them know the next question is going to help estimate cost. Anything that says required disclosures, make sure you just read to the client for compliance. So you can say the next question helps me estimate won't affect your plan premiums. This will just give me a better picture of how much the plan would cost you, or you don't need to answer if you're not comfortable. So then you can just say, okay, do you frequently see the doctor? You know, this is when we're getting into personal information, you know, if, how ill essentially are you? So you could say, hey, you know, I'm an occasional person. Because what this is going to do is it's going to start saying, okay, if someone's a frequent, now it's going to start searching plans that might not have a very high maximum out of pocket. Because we know if this person goes to the doctor frequently, then they very well might start eating some doctor's copays or some hospital copays pretty quickly. So if you click rarely versus frequently, it's going to give you some different top to bottom recommendations. Here you can also put in some medication names as well. So if they're taking any of the lisinoprils or the medications that a lot of our folks are taking for high blood pressure, things like that, you can pop those medications in there as well. See which pharmacy they want to use. Do they receive extra help? Yes or no? And then it'll ask them some more focused questions. So, okay, are you a frequent traveler? So maybe, you know, do we need to look into a PPO plan, or, you know, is dental coverage important to you, or is over the counter? So we can say for this person, dental, you know, we're in Nashville. Let's say they, you know, want to see a doctor that, or a dentist that can help them with some coverage. So we can search, see all plans. So it's going to start loading some plans based on the information that we plugged in. So it's going to give us some basic options, and it's going to pop up what their current plan is. So it's going to let them know what they currently have. And then it's also going to let them know available plans as well. We've already put in the doctor. So as we go down here, it's going to let us know, okay, is Rachel in network? She is, and she's in network at one location. So if they're seeing her on Murphy Avenue, you know, that might not be a practice that is in at least United Healthcare's wheelhouse. So don't just look and make sure that we're green with the primary care. Make sure that the location that they are going to lines up as well. So we can continue to search. I want to see if I can find one that is not in network, because that one will just be marked red. I guess Rachel is very popular. It looks like she's in network with a lot of them, which is okay. But we're here on this page. You're able to see star rating front and center. You're able to see monthly premium front and center. You're also able to see front and center what a primary care and specialist cost is. For any agents that say, okay, this is paralysis by analysis, I am seeing too many plans right now. If you look at the bottom here, I am searching by plans that I am only appointed with. So I don't want to unclick this. And if there's a plan that I'm not ready to sell with, let's see if I can find one here at the bottom. If I am not contracted, so I'm not appointed with Humana. So if you click on this, I am not able to enroll in this plan. It's going to say not appointed to sell. If I go back up here to the top, I'm able to see this enroll button. That's what you want to see. But right now we have 36 results for plans. We've already seen that the doctor's in network for a lot of this. If we want to start narrowing down plans, we can narrow it down a couple ways. So we can say, I know here in Tennessee, Blue Cross Blue Shield runs the show. We have good partnerships with them. They have the best networks in town. So let's just narrow our search by looking at one of these. I'm not appointed with Blue Cross Blue Shield, but just as an example, if you wanted to say, I want to just narrow it down to a couple different carriers, say Amerigroup, Cigna, United Healthcare. Now we're down to 10 results. So if there's carrier specifics, I would make sure that you're only viewing plans that you're appointed in. See, I went from 36 to 22 just by searching plans that I'm appointed with. Now I'm able to look at a couple different options. So we can see their current plan and look at details. And we can also look at a couple other options too. So if you wanted to look up the details of the current plan, you could just click on details. And then you could just walk the client through, okay, here's what you currently have, 4.5-star plans. You have a give back. You have all these great benefits. That's all well and good. If you wanted to compare options, say, okay, now I want to compare some plans, all you would have to do is click on compare, and you can compare up to 3 plans side by side. So we're looking at the AARP United Healthcare plan. Let's throw in Medicare Advantage, which is our anthem. That's what they call it here in Tennessee. And let's look at a Cigna as well. It looks like the doctor's in network at one location. Now we have a couple options. We can compare, or we could also email them. So if we have a person that says, hey, not ready to, close today, I'm at a funeral, or, I'm on the beach right now, can you just send me the plan information? You can click email, and it will let them know the email that you need to put in. It has their date of birth, and it's going to give them this PIN number. So if you email someone just the explanation of benefits, or just the brief benefit rundown, it's going to ask them, what's that 6-digit code? So make sure you give that PIN number to the client just so they have it. So for this example, now we want to compare plans. Now we can compare plans side by side. So, Cigna has a 5-star. We can enroll them for a special election if we wanted to. So you're able to see stars front and center, monthly premium, deductibles. This has all the major stuff, drug deductibles. Okay, now we're seeing that there's a deductible for the tiers 1 through 3. Now, when you get down here, I like following the process. All of these are in ABC order. So this should be very easy for an agent to go through, just to say, okay, additional benefits. This is going to be your silver sneakers, your if there's an additional flex card, everyday extras, I know is an anthem push. We said dental's important. So, okay, so now let's look through. This is what when we're asking clients questions on the phone, what benefits have you used in the last 6 months? What would you like to see in a new plan? Now we can start looking, okay, now we're looking at the AARP plan, 1250. Oh, we have a 2000 allowance for this Anthem plan, only 500 for Cigna. So yes, it's a 5-star, but if they want dental, might not be the strongest benefits there. So see how you can use your conversation to go through, look at all of these plans side by side, see what specialty copays are, see what doctor copays are. And then as you go down to the bottom, it's obviously going to wrap up with over the counter and stuff like that. Oh, this Anthem plan, very strong, 168 a quarter compared to 30 and 40. So now you can see how you can start narrowing down 3 options to 1. And as you scroll down, it will go over that inpatient hospital care, as well as drug deductibles if you have any drugs put in. And then at the very bottom, this is where you can look up any summary of benefits, evidence of coverage. We know Sunfire does a great job of putting in information that's very high level. I like to pick on a dental benefit because it might say, okay, comprehensive up to this amount. But once you go into that explanation of benefits, it might say, okay, here's what comprehensive actually means. Covers crowns, covers implants, covers root canals, all of this stuff. So this will get you in the fight. And then if you need more information on what something covers, scroll to the bottom, and then you can better make a recommendation. And then at this point, we've searched a doctor, we've done a plan review. I'm confident in the coming videos we can maybe plug in a couple drugs, and then I think we're ready to enroll.
Man, this is
Luis,
good.
back to you.
Can you do one thing for me? Because I like to focus a lot. Once we get the benefits out of the way, we also got to spend some time on the drugs.
Oh yeah.
Can you go down? I know we didn't choose LIS for this person, but if we
Yeah.
chose LIS, will it adjust the copays?
Let me double check. I do not think it does. But I can let's go back and try
Okay.
it. So we clicked no. So let's just say yes here.
Okay. Let's see if it does it. And then you have to pick
Yeah.
a level.
And then pick a level. So partial low. So this would be, I know you said they just flipped them. So it's either going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 or 4, 3, 2, 1.
Right.
But if they're full, we'll just say full LIS. We can put in
Okay.
that $0 coverage, or if it's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, this is just the cost of generics versus the most they would pay. As long as it's on formulary, is that 430 or 1035. So now let's just say they have a little bit of LIS. We can go back, and so we have a doctor plugged in here. You can also go up to the top here as well, and we have no medications plugged in. You can click medications here, and you can also select pharmacy. So if we wanted to select, okay, Kroger instead, or if they wanted to use mail order, you can select that there. And then here's where you can start putting in
Let's put lisinopril
medication.
for now. You mind putting that? Let's check it out.
And then Sunfire Smart, so it's going to prompt you to ask more questions. So it's going to say, okay, now what's the dosage? Is it a tablet? So it's a tablet. It'll also abbreviate capsule, liquid, if it's an injectable. So let's just say, hey, they're taking 5. It's going to ask how many they take. The number, I would just multiply it by 2 or 3. I would just ask, how many do you take a day? If they say 3 a day, we're going to have to bump that up to 90. If they take 2 a day, we'll bump it up to 60. And then we can see, do they take that every month, or do they do it every 2, every quarter? How often do they get this? So you can lock that in, save it, and add another one. Is there any others we want to search?
No, I think just with that one's good enough.
Perfect. So that'll be good. So
We'll
make
make it
sure
easy.
So make sure you save and add. So then you didn't like that one, so cancel that one. So you got to make sure it's just the medication you put in. You're going to punch that in, and you're going to see that it's updated on the top right. So next to doctors, it should say, hey, we've searched one doctor. You can search as many doctors as you like. With medications, I've enrolled clients that have 16 different medications, so keep adding them. But we can see we plugged in one here. And now we can go down and look at their estimated drug cost as well. It'll show you high level. So it will say that you have a $0 estimated drug cost. So, and you can do the same exact thing if we wanted to compare side by side like we did previously. Okay. So if you wanted to compare these, I know we had a Cigna in here as well. We can punch that in. Oh, this one's saying drugs not covered at Kroger. So this is a good example. Right. So let's compare. And then we can go over to drug cost details. And then we can compare all of these drugs side by side as well. So this one lets you know that it is that it's preferred pharmacy at for the Anthem plan. It is out of network, not on formulary, or out of network pharmacy for the Cigna. So it shows that it's in the runnings for it. I would more than likely see if we can flip it to a CVS or a Walgreens, or see if mail order will pick it up. It'll clearly tell you if it's not on formulary. It'll let you know where it says estimated full drug cost. It'll either say out of network pharmacy or not on formulary. It'll let you know the tier, and then it'll let you know quantity limits. So, if she bumped it up to 60 tablets a month for United Healthcare, they have a quantity limit here. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm a licensed agent. I don't want to sway you one way or the other, but we're looking at good dental for AmeriGroup. We're looking at no quantity limit, and estimated drug cost, is going to be, in much lower considered, that's a preferred pharmacy. You can also go month by month. If you have several drugs in, it'll let them know when they're going to hit their coverage periods. So with the amount that this drug is, they are not going to ever hit the donut hole or any of that coverage gap. So should be no issues there. But at any time, you could always go back to plans, and you can plug in more information at the time. So no concerns there. So that essentially is, high level. We walked through comparing some options. We plugged in some doctors. We plugged in some drugs. I did want to add, when we compared this as well, we compared the drug cost. You also have the option, if you just want to look at the health cost details, you can do that on this page as well. And essentially that'll just outline, okay, how much an exam would be, how much an urgent care visit would be. It essentially just does high level without including drugs. So health cost details would be good if you have a person that doesn't use a ton of drugs and they want the most bang for their buck in terms of health cost. That essentially wraps it up. Is there anything else to add, Luis? Any other examples we can walk them through?
I think we're good. So let's do this. Okay, Jeremy, let's assume we're going to rock and roll with that middle plan from AmeriGroup. Because, man, the dental, the pharmacy was, or the pharmacy was in network, the medication was in the formulary, the doctor was in network, everything was good, and that's the plan we selected. We'll hop into the next video where we're going to talk about SOAs and enrollment. So stay tuned, guys.